Hey everyone, my name is Fons Jacobs, and welcome back to another feature episode on the Band of Insiders podcast. As discussed multiple times, the feature episodes are focused on new technologies, new up-and-coming trends, or anything else that's happening in the world of innovation. Today, I am going to dive into one of these trends that I'm seeing with a heavy focus on social media. So I think it's going to be very interesting for everyone, and especially for marketeers and brand people. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Social media has changed everything. And by everything, I mean everything. From businesses to relationships to work to maybe even our brains. It is pretty crazy to think it's only 20 years old. I definitely remember the times before social media. Friends who are watching or listening to this and already knew me back then know that I always jumped on every new thing that was happening on the internet very, very fast. I'll brag a little bit. My Gmail account, which I still use until this day, was created when it was still invite only. I started my Twitter account in June 2008 and my Instagram account in October 2011, only a year after Instagram launched. I remember so many friends laughed at all the crazy stuff I did on these platforms. Now the memories function on Facebook is sometimes wonderful, but also sometimes so cringe to see. I used an app that connected my Twitter to my Facebook feed, meaning everything that I would post on Twitter would also be posted on my Facebook feed. Damn, the things I was posting back then, it's hilarious to now read back thanks to the memories function on Facebook. So, by the way, quick sidestep. What I found interesting is back then, in 3 different parts of the world, some sort of Facebook was being built, all separate from each other, and done by 3 great entrepreneurs as they all came up with the same idea/need and got serious traction for their platforms. In the US, you of course had Facebook, but also VK or VKontakte in Russia, developed and launched by Pavel Durov, the founder of Telegram actually, and our beloved Hives in the Netherlands by Raymond Spanjaard. Oh, he also wrote an excellent book about that. For all the Dutchies out there, definitely worth a read. So all social media started in order to connect with friends, family, colleagues. It was personal feeds, personal updates. This then quickly followed by the fact that you could now have a different look into the lives of your favorite celebrities. People always wondered why someone would care about a tweet by Brad Pitt saying what he is having for lunch that day. I think it was just the first time that we got actually a little bit closer towards the people that were usually very far away, and we could only see them on TV screens. And I think that intrigued a lot of fans already back then. Things slowly but surely evolved from there. I will never forget the moment that Instagram introduced video to its until then photo sharing app in 2013. You could post 15-second videos on Instagram from that point. A few years later, Conor McGregor, big fan, fought Jose Aldo in late 2015. And I remember the meme so vividly that the whole fight fit on Instagram, as McGregor knocked out Aldo in just 13 seconds. So yes, the whole video of the full fight could be posted on Instagram. Interesting enough, it took Instagram 3 years to expand that to 60 seconds and another 5 years to go to the full-length video format that we now use. At this point, social media became way more than just friends and family or following your favorite celebrities. It became the place for all things culture, news, breaking stories, brands, content creators, and so much more. All that we now know as social media. The reason why I'm writing about it now is because I have a feeling that we are at another new step in the evolution of social media. With all these new technologies that are pushing forward and changing everything, a big question is still, how will it affect social media? Do we really think that Instagram, TikTok, etc. are the end state of social platforms? I think it's easier to bet on the no they aren't side, if you ask me. So what is it going to become? Let's look at something first. Over the last few months, we have seen a lot of different companies announce some sort of social app. An app that has a feed full of content, most of the time based on the TikTok swipe vertical mechanism that they made so popular, where you can then follow, like, share, and more. So let's list a couple that I've seen being launched recently. Starting with OpenAI, Sora, the biggest release of last week, AI native short video, a social feed of model-generated clips with selfie cameos so friends can put your face in skits and remixes. We have seen a lot of Sora videos that went viral, not just because of the insane quality of the model, but also because the social element to them. Remixing famous people or friends has shown to be pretty sticky so far. The Sam Altman videos doing the most random stuff are everywhere. Then Meta released their app called Vibes. It's an AI video discovery and creation inside the Meta AI app. Short, remixable clips you can post to the Vibes feed and cross-share then to Instagram and Facebook. Very similar to Sora actually. A different one is Roblox. They announced Moments, short-form video feed inside Roblox where players capture, trim, and post up to 30-second gameplay clips. Add music, write captions, and viewers can scroll the feed, react, and then actually jump into the experiences where these videos were taken. Spotify added something social but slightly different, not a feed but focused on messages. Now you can chat about any audio that's inside Spotify. One-to-one threads built around songs, podcasts, and audiobooks you're sharing. Not really a TikTok-style feed, like I said, but still interesting that they try to keep the social element of sharing audio with friends and family inside their app. Then there's Zora, an outlier, but I love it. On-chain social, where every post is a tradable content coin. Not only that, it's paired with your personal creator coin. It's not super new, but became a lot more popular with a strong set of users and creators over the last couple of months. Then there's the Base app by Coinbase, an on-chain everything app, including a Forecaster social feed, Zora-powered coinable post as discussed just now, chat and payments. It's social plus trading in one feed. And interestingly, it's an open social network because they are using the decentralized Forecaster social protocol. Then there's Pika Labs, who released another app where you can post short AI videos, very similar to what Sora announced with Cameo feature. It can include your own face in them very easily. And last but not least, Character AI. It's a chat platform where you actually talk with AI characters. Users and creators build these characters with specific personalities and skills. Then others can chat with them one-on-one and join group chats, or now browse a feed of character-made posts and clips. This feed is an AI-native, scrollable feed built around characters, scenes, streams, and creator-made short videos. Posts are designed to be interactive and remixable, with formats like chat snippets, character cards, streams, and avatar effects for rapid clip creation. And don't forget, Character AI is one of the most successful AI companies out there, recording 20 million monthly active users last February. Then there's X, aka Twitter, as an honorable mention in this list. They are, of course, a massive social platform already, but they're also betting very strongly on a new sort of AI-filled feed with the launch of their viral companions, which people are actually falling in love with, literally already, but also the super fast generation of both image and video. And that's not all. More and more large companies and brands are adding social style features to their platform. I'll list a couple. Twitch added a vertical discovery feed and stories for stream clips. LinkedIn even testing a TikTok style video stream for work tips and B2B creators. Then of course there's WhatsApp and Telegram, which added the very social stories inside their apps. Netflix, another very new one if you ask me, swipeable clip feed to preview shows faster. Substack, video feed for short updates and podcast promos. Shopify Shop, more visual home feed for shoppable brand storytelling. Yelp, AI-assisted feed with restaurant videos for local discovery. Uber Eats, piloting a TikTok-like feed for nearby restaurant videos. DoorDash, they developed a creator program seeding short food videos in-app. It's crazy, so it's clear, everybody wants to be social. But why? The only answer I can come up with now is pretty simple. Attention. It's the same reason why OpenAI announced apps inside their GPT app, keeping the user inside their own platform. Instead of clicking and going directly to the Booking.com or Figma platform, no, instead they keep the eyeballs on your platform at all times. The same reason why Spotify makes it possible to share their content inside the app instead of going to WhatsApp to message a friend with your favorite podcast. This one, I heard. The data point, time spent on platform, is an important one for valuations, investment rounds, etc. Again, the focus and the currency is all attention. Now let's talk about short form, as it became the king and queen of content. Where in the early days we wanted the ability to post longer and longer videos on Instagram, it's now all about short form content. Even YouTube, the original giant for video content, eventually introduced YouTube Shorts in 2020, and it's been a massive success for them ever since. By the way, pretty funny to think back to Vine now. Remember that platform? It exploded onto the scene in 2013, and everyone was convinced it will be a serious competitor to Instagram. Their focus? 6 seconds looped videos. They were already acquired by Twitter before they went live. Pretty crazy. By August 2015, about 200 million people were watching Vine videos each month, and they were serving up to 1.5 billion loops per day. But it fell off as fast as it had grown, and Twitter announced a shutdown of Vine on October 27, 2016. So Vine, now looking back, it almost looks like they were just too soon. Great idea, wrong timing. So what did short form content actually do to us? I don't think I have to research when I say that it feels like our attention spans have shortened even more. And then there was AI. As we go back to all the new social apps that have launched lately, we see that a lot of them are very AI focused. Endless streams of AI generated content by companies like OpenAI, Meta, Pika, xAI, and more. Will this last? Some people are afraid of an overload of AI slop, aka cheap, shitty, useless content that will turn some people into absolute addicts. I am afraid that a part of society will definitely fall for this, especially when things start to be generated for specifically you. As we said many times before, the perfect piece of content generated just for you at the exact right time, always. I think two other things might happen or need to happen. One, niche-specific apps that will eventually become a place for specific groups of people, for a specific category of content, maybe. Instead of just a few major social platforms, we might have hundreds of them, and they will become more niche. Just like there are Discord communities and Reddit groups for all types of people. And then two, we hopefully will get human-only feeds. As discussed in my article titled, AI is flooding the internet, here's the counter-move, we are going to need some sort of human identification layer so that people can prove they are human. Blockchain, this is where you are going to shine, by the way. If that happens, certain social platforms might go with the opposite direction of AI feeds and go fully or almost fully human, basically giving us, users, more power over the algorithm that will feed us the things that we like to see. One of the most interesting and maybe mostly overlooked features of the OpenAI Sora app is just that. They mention on their launch post the following about it. They say, we are giving users the tools and optionality to be in control of what they see on the feed. Using OpenAI's existing large language models, we have developed a new class of recommender algorithms that can be instructed through natural language. Which means you can say to it, I want more cats, I want less cats, I want dogs, and so forth. So more control, and hopefully in the future, we can also decide if we want more human-made videos or AI videos. It's an interesting move by OpenAI to give their users this much more control over the algorithm. Hopefully a sign of what is to come. So what should brands do about all these new platforms? A question that many people and or brands might be asking themselves is what should their social media strategy be moving forward? In the last 20 years, it was pretty obvious that most companies had to move with the platforms that were becoming popular. Once your audience was there, you had to be present as well. Therefore, a social media strategy probably started with just Facebook only, and then got expanded slowly when Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and eventually TikTok exploded. Your audience is there, so go there and start creating content for that specific platform. Pretty simple, right? Yes, true. But what about now? As we just discussed, there's about 78 new platforms that launched in the last few months alone. And they all have or will have millions of users probably. My early suggestion would be don't go there. It doesn't make any sense. If you decide to expand your strategy with a new platform, you have to think about a couple of things, in my opinion. First and foremost, a clear understanding of the platform, its specific way of working, its specific way the culture works, the audience that is there, and the content that is on there. 2, a long-term vision. You won't spend all the money and effort just to stop it all after trying it for just a couple months. Either commit fully with an approach that is uniquely you, or don't do it at all. And as I said, find your unique approach. What does your brand look, feel, and sound like on a particular platform? But how do you do that for 7 to 8 new platforms all at once? Like I said, you don't. This doesn't mean though that you can't utilize these new platforms and their audiences. I think what an interesting approach could potentially be is, as for many things, work with creators. All these platforms will eventually give birth to new kinds of creators who are specifically tied to these new platforms. The days of a general influencer who tries to move their audience onto a new platform are over, in my opinion. Instead, every platform is extremely unique in terms of culture, audience, type of content, and so forth, which will then result in specific platform superstars. Those are the ones you want to find, and those are the ones you want to work with. When working with creators and testing these platforms, the data and response will tell you if this particular platform might be one to double down on for you as a brand. I think that's a perfect potential outcome. A second thing that I would definitely take notice of as a brand is the fact that there aren't just new social media platforms popping up, but that other apps and brands want to become more social as well. Therefore, ask yourself the following question: how social is your brand? When you are doing your next activation, how do people connect with each other and with your brand? As discussed last week, human connection will become so much more important because of all this new technology. It will thrive. Combined with the trend of everything becoming more social, it makes total sense that you as a brand have to start working on these human-to-human relationships and build a real strong community. So some closing thoughts. It is clear that social media is evolving. It is changing once again. Where gaming, in my opinion, has become a totally new social platform, AI is now creating completely new forms of social media. Just like Vine, there will be platforms that will try something new and eventually fail. But that change is coming is something we cannot deny any longer. As a brand, stay true to who you are and see what fits and what doesn't. Find creators that connect with your values and see if you can come up with something special together. But there's one angle of social that we haven't really discussed this week, and that is the rise of AI characters, AI avatars, and AI agents. I think they will fundamentally change our relationship with the internet and technology, but maybe also in general and physically. Social media started with the friend graph. We scaled with the interest graph. And we're now entering the agent graph, where characters and agents participate, not just people anymore. So that's it for this week. Thank you all for listening or watching once again. It was another feature episode on this Band of Insiders podcast where we dove deep into a potential up-and-coming trend that I think is going to be very important for any brand or marketeer out there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please share it with your friends or colleagues if you find this interesting. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channels. And while you're at it, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. It will help me a lot. This is Franz Jacobs, Band of Insiders for this week. See you again next week. Peace.